Hello everybody, welcome to their design video here with me and Beard. I've actually started to rush these out on the channel, so they're going to be out at a pretty quick rate. Well, in YouTube time, not so much in real time, but still a lot quicker than originally intended because we're working hard. We have a lot of cards here to show you that Beard and I have designed between recording sessions to throw onto our spreadsheet we have officially made to get this. So let's check out this one, Gallant. This is a level 0 Guardian skill. It's a spirit. Commits for a brain and a fist. If this test is successful during an attack, draw one card. 2 cards instead if you spend one or more ammo, charges, or supplies to initiate this attack. I like this one that you made, Beard. As I said, it's a nice merge of Guardian and Mystic, which is convenient because that's kind of what we have in our box.
A little bit. And yeah. I think in general, Arkham needs to reward investing in cards that use ammo, charges, or supplies.
Yep. And I think this is a nice way of doing it. The draw 2 is really nice. Like, if this goes into, like, most gun decks and, you know, if you have blue as a Mystic, it's pretty sick as well. I really like it.
It includes supplies just in case you have a chainsaw build that wants to use it.
Yeah, I was looking at this too, and even like, I wish that Arkham just had a term like, if you spent one or more uses, right? But I don't think they actually have that like codified in the rules.
I don't believe so either.
Yeah. All right. Next one here, we have Inherited Wisdom, which is a level 0 Mystic skill. Commits for a Resourceful, a Book of Foot and a Wild. Sorry, a Book of Fist and a Wild. Oh my god, I can't even say. I'm seeing a Wild right now, and it's only we're only 7 minutes into our stream. I'm in trouble. Book, Fist, and Foot.
She's making you hallucinate.
Yeah, she is. Practiced Augury. If the skill test successfully, you may choose an ally ass in your discard pile and resolve a Lightning Bolt ability printed on it, ignoring all costs. I like this one too. I agree with what you said though, that we should probably like see how it feels in playtesting for like the effect if we need like some sort of shuffle that in, remove from the game, yada yada yada. But I do really like the design on this one.
Something like that, and just the fact that you can't use it with just all the Mystic will stuff makes you at least have to work for it a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like it, even just worst case, ability to like use it on like a book test or a fist test and just do an Arcane Initiate from your discard pile seems really nice.
Yeah.
E4s, thank you so much for 32 months of the Golden Table. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a great one. All right, next up we got Loa's Wager. This is a 2-cost event. It's a Pact and Gambit fast. Play when you initiate an attack, evasion, or test as part of a or a test as part of a parlay. Choose a non-story asset control with 1 or more Doom on it. If this test is successful, remove 1 Doom from the chosen asset. Otherwise, discard the chosen asset.
Yeah, just some more Doom management for all the Doom things we're loading in here.
Yep. And as I said to you as well, I really like with this one how it's like it can be positive either way if you just want to get rid of something with Doom on it. Like if there's one thing with Doom and you just don't want that Doom.
It will get rid of the Doom either way.
Yeah.
Just...
and then the risk comes if you want to actually like keep that asset in play, which I think is really nice. Because then it's actually like the wager, which is cool.
And if it's too good, we can always just slap like Take a Horror onto the fail as well.
Yeah. All right, next up we got Beseech the Loa. This is a 3-cost, 3-experience event. Attach Beseech the Loa to the current agenda, limit 1 per agenda. Forced, when the investigation phase ends, if the attached agenda's Doom threshold has been reached, for each Doom on an enemy, deal 1 damage to that enemy. For each Doom on a location, discover 1 clue from that location. For each Doom on a player card, that card's owner draws a card. Remove Beseech the Loa from the game. I think this is a really cool Doom payoff.
Yeah, because a lot of the Doom suite is just about like riding the line and seeing what you can do. But I wanted a card that was like, well, something that pays off from just the Doom that's in play, no matter what. And Dice Gods the Loa are like the voodoo pantheon, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like this one because I like this one of just thinking like it has a really high ceiling that the players can dream about.
Yeah, and I think 3 cost 3 XP is a good place to put it because with the current wording, you can really go nuts with it during the witching hour.
Yep. I'm with you as well that this one I think we'll have to see how it feels with playtesting, but I really like the concept of it a lot. And I mean, I think it's like it seems very close, but you're right that we probably want to like try it a few times to see how it feels in actuality.
Yeah, but also the dream of just you see that Brotherhood cultism stacking doom on himself. Well,
yeah,
sucks to be him.
Just see you later. All right, next up we got Hindrance Ritual. This is a 1 cost 3 experience, a mystic event. Packed ritual attached to your location, limit 1 per location. All Doom on player cards at attached location do not count towards the agenda's Doom threshold. And then forced when the agenda advances, each investigator attached location takes 1 horror and then discard Hindrance Ritual. So this one kind of is at slight odds with the other one we just saw, but I think having like a similar space is nice, right? Like we can like try them out, see which one feels we want. Maybe they're both there. Maybe this one needs to be modified.
Honestly, I think they can both exist because it's basically if you want to be more aggressive or more cautious with your Doom usage.
Yeah, because this one is kind of like the idea is that you put this on the location for like the boss fight, and then it's just like, okay, I'm ready to fight this boss. Or like if you can use it between as well, which is really nice. But I think it's just like a nice thing for Doom to have in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the scenario, it may be too good.
Yes.
But at least it's capped by the agenda advancing and a penalty if you've been hanging around there too long.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Surging Power. This is a 3 cost, 2 experience mystic asset that takes up an arcane slot. Uses 4 charges. As an action, spend 1 charge, fight. Add your fist to your brain for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. If you did not succeed by at least 2, take 1 damage. Forced, if 1 or more charges are added, placed, or replenished on Surging Power, place 1 Doom on it.
I really did like that forced effect at the end because it gives it Doom interaction without just being a card that relies on itself.
Yeah, because I was thinking when I was thinking of trying to like think this one up, I was like, so what if this was like, for everyone else this was a downside, but for like Doom decks this was actually like an upside, especially for Delphine, right? It makes this now a Spectral Razor for her, but
oh yeah.
Rather than it just being a Spectral Razor right out of the hop, it's now a Spectral Razor that you have to kind of work for, which feels better for a 2 experience card.
Yeah, I agree. And 4 charges for a fight spell is pretty standard.
Yeah,
so that's good.
All right. We have our 1 rogue card here, which is Suave. It's a skill level 0, brain and foot. While Suave is committed to this test, each enemy that is evaded during this test is exhausted instead. Do not disengage from it.
Yeah, just I don't know, it seemed like a good skill area to include.
Yep.
And has some use with parley as well as evading. Just that's why the will icon's on there.
Yep.
And this is a card that someone like Kamani would love to use.
Oh yeah, no, I think this is a nice one. We hate aloof here, don't we, folks? I mean, I think if there are 2 haters of aloof, it's probably you and me, right, Beard? I remember you don't like how unintuitive it is. I remember you said that in the past.
It is unintuitive, and it makes no sense that after you evade an aloof enemy, it goes back to being untouchable. Like, what's the point then?
Remind me, does the rogue in your set want engaged enemies? This seems like a strict downside. I mean, it's not necessarily that he wants to engage enemies, but like parlay exists. Is the kind of thing.
This was also designed with Moose in mind, so he can evade someone and keep a hold on them.
Yep. And you can just like drag them around and deal them some damage.
Yep.
Intended that Eldritch Sophist moving charges around gets around Surging Power's forced effect. So yeah, here's the reality. They have now, I've just learned 4 ways that charges can be placed on something by terms. And honestly, fuck that. That's a crazy thing that's possible while going through this. Because I had replenished and placed, no, and then I saw Book of Shadows is added, and I was like, okay, I guess I gotta add added. But I'm not adding for Eldritch Sophist, so.
Yeah, there's add, move, place, replenish. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's too many. Honestly, it needs to be tightened up, for sure. All right, Liminal Dreaming is a Seeker level 0 card. It's an event. Costs 1. Choose an investigator location. Move that investigator to a connect and reveal location. If that location has 1 or more clues on it, that investigator heals 1 horror. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
So I thought there was a good alternative to shortcut, basically.
What I like about this one is it hits Moose, but it also hits Yvette as well, which I think is pretty nice, again, to have that kind of cross between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think realistically we probably want a move effect in Survivor, Rogue, and Seeker, so I think we've hit that for each one so far, so I think this is probably going to fit in there nicely.
Right.
All right. This one is... I like this one. This one's intriguing. I think we need to, if we're going to include it, we'll need to support it a little bit, but I really like what you cooked up with this one. This is a 1 cost, 3 experience Seeker event. Authorial Intent. Attach Authorial Intent to a Tomas you control, limit 1 per asset. As a reaction, when you activate or trigger an ability printed on the attached asset, exhaust Authorial Intent. Change each 1 in that ability's effect to a 2. So
yeah, and I made a big list of the affected cards.
Yeah, I'm scrolling up to that now. So it makes Forbidden Sutra worse, but that can't be hard. Old Book of Lore, Scroll of Prophecies all get worse. I think the ones that are like better are like Book of Psalms, Book of Shadows 1, Book of Shadows 3 gets way better. The Forbidden Tomes get way better. Grim Memoir gets way better. Nautical Charts gets way better. Grey's Anatomy, Grimm's Fairy Tales gets better. I think that there's a lot. It's a good improvement for these. I think that's a fun little tome card.
Yeah, there's some good interplay, but yeah, it's yeah. I think this for the signature tomes, it lets Daisy at least be action efficient because she can move 2 horror instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good with Lucius's Book of Verse.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Then we have Nancy Hamilton. 3 cost, 3 experience. Soaks for 2 and 3. It's an ally. You get +1 brain and +1 book. Forced. After your turn begins or Nancy Hamilton enters play, choose, investigate, move, or play. You may take an additional action of the chosen type this turn. You cannot take actions of the types that you did not choose unless they are also an action of your chosen type. So, my thought with this one is figuring out the appropriate costing for this, because like it's kind of in some ways a more restrictive Leo DeLuca, but it also has stats on it, right? So trying to figure out the perfect number for that. Reality is it's an extra like action each turn, but it reduces what you can do otherwise, you know? So figure out the balance for this, I think, is going to be a little bit interesting. But
yeah, it doesn't eat his lunch too much.
Yeah, because I'm just like concerned about like restrictions are good, but they're also bad. But the flavor of like the stage manager telling people what to do and when is very on theme for this. So figuring out the numbers, I think, is going to be interesting. The actual like solidifying those. All right, Vaulting Pole. 3 cost Survivor level 0, takes up 2 hand slots, item, weapon, melee. Fight, you get +X fist for this attack, where X is the number of times you have moved this round. If you succeed, you may exhaust Vaulting Pole to either move to a connected location or deal 1 additional damage to the attacked enemy.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I tried to make it good without being too powerful, because Survivor weapons are always going to be a little scuffed.
Yep. I dig it, though. I think this is very fun. I have a note that maybe, there's a lot of text on this card for how it works, but maybe we talk about exploring it with the level 5 card that I shared last night, which I have made a mock-up as well for here. Let's go over that.
True, that would be a good interplay with it.
So we'll have to figure that out. Only being able to deal 2 damage per action once per turn, hits for a 2-handed weapon. It's true, but like a survivor weapon, I think it's better that they're worse, like Meat Cleaver, for example. But also, like, I think like survivor weapons, when they have higher synergy, I mean, yeah, there's a problem where like everyone just will end up playing Fire Axe, because that's kind of what happens with survivors. But it works really well with Moose, but I definitely see like the issue with it for a 2-handed weapon. But I think we'll see in playtesting. Moose is so unique for how he fights things as well. He's a very... We did something cool with that Investigator, so I'm curious to see how he plays with Vaulting Pole.
He's a bit of a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And
all right.
I'm open to Vaulting Pole being like a once per turn extra 2 damage instead, or something like that.
Yeah, that feels kind of like in the Sledgehammer level 0 and the what is it, the pitchfork space.
Yeah.
All right, 4th down. 0 cost, 1 experience event. Fast, play only after you've taken your 3rd action during your turn. Ready and ask you control, take an additional action this turn. Each test taken during this action gets +1 difficulty. Remove 4th down from the game.
Just putting more football stuff in the game for Moose.
Yeah, yep. It's like I said in the when you shared, it's like a reverse quick learner.
Yeah, and if you do play it with quick learner, then it evens out.
Tony as well. Tony, baby. Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, I was very happy with how the flavor shook out there.
Yep. And then we got this one, the Waste Not, Want Not. This one's still a work in progress. We have to talk about it a bit, but that's what today's all about. 2 costs, 5 experience. That's a talent, limit 1 per investigator. As a reaction, when a weapon asset you control leaves play, exhaust, Waste Not, Want Not. Resolve an action ability on that asset, ignoring all costs. After this effect resolves, you may cost to place it on the bottom of your deck. If you don't, remove it from the game instead. Place that asset. I think we gotta just make the wording more clear. So my thought on this, Beard, is do we need this cost to place it, like to stay in your deck, or does it just always go back into the deck for 5 XP in a build around? Or does the cost potentially open it up to make it more interesting?
I think it's fine to remove from the game because it's it doesn't have to be triggered every time a weapon leaves play. It's a reaction either way. So
okay, so out of this effect's resolve, we could go remove that asset from the game. Drop the instead. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah, but now it doesn't seem like it's worth 5 XP.
Yeah. I mean, what if we go, you may spend 1 use. If you do. For 5 XP, it could be any weapon at your location leaves play. That's interesting, Arkham Librarian.
That's a good one.
When a weapon asset at your location cost, you may and then I mean, I think the uses might be good, right? Like, uses 3 waste. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, Dice Gods. This is like an upgraded version of, like, if you have a push to the limit, you could, like, put this in as, like, your upgraded push to the limit kind of thing. There are some weapons without the tool trait, especially in Survivor. Should this work for those too somehow? I like this being for specifically baseball bat. That was the inspiration for this, because I was thinking, like, in the current format. In Legacy, there is obviously more you can do with it, like Act of Desperation, Sledgehammer. But, like, I was thinking of, like, Moose and baseball bat as something for him to build around. I think you're right, though. We probably do want some recursion in this. Otherwise, I agree, it doesn't feel like a 5 XP card. So I think we do want to have some sort of recursion. So it could be either uses or something like Gift of Nodens where you have to pay an extra cost.
Maybe it's like pay to put it on the bottom of your deck, otherwise shuffle it into your deck.
Okay. Interesting. Otherwise... your deck instead. I guess for me, when I'm looking at this, I don't really see much of a... I know there's things you could do with Scroll of Secrets, but I don't really see much of a difference between these two. I would just, like, always choose Shuffle.
What about spending a use to play another copy of that weapon?
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Alright, so here, the text is going to get really tiny for a few, chat. Just bear with us. When episode location, after this effect resolves, shuffle that asset in your deck. You may then spend 1 use. If you do, to play another copy of that asset in your hand, paying its cost. So location leaves play, exhaust, waste not, want not. Resolve an action ability on that asset at all cost. After this effect resolves, shuffle that asset into your deck. You may then spend 1 use to play another copy of that asset from your hand, paying its cost. Okay.
Could work.
I'm down. What should we call the uses? Probably something better than waste. Want?
Also, it should be, you spend 1 use to have that weapon's owner play it rather than you playing it.
2. That assets. I'll drop it then. You may spend 1 use to have that asset's owner play. Yep, okay. Yeah, what should our uses be? 3 wants? Oh, from no, not even maybe. Actually, grammatically, it has to be there. Yeah. It has to be there. That's not a maybe. That's a...
I don't use this 3 backups.
I'm down. I like backup. Resolve, shuffle that asset. Oh, into its owner's deck. I'm wondering if we are, if we're going now too much with the any one. Go back to you control. Because I feel like we're adding extra words on this now to make that better. Control leaves play. Asset into your deck. To play another copy. Asset from your hand, paying its cost. I think that's better. I think the other one was cooler, but I think this is probably just cleaner. When happens you control, when you control, no, the location's still there. When a weapon you asset you control leaves play, exhaust full name, resolve an action ability on that asset, ignoring all costs. At this effect, resolve, shove that asset into your deck. You may spend one backup to play another copy of that asset from your hand, paying its cost. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's decent as is.
Yeah. I built around this, which was the intention.
Let's see if we can find a good piece of art for it.
Sure. And while you're doing that, I'll pull up these survivor cards and we can start green lighting some of them, locking them in the set. Because we have our fancy dancy spreadsheet now. If someone else's weapon leaves play and you use this, you would be the one using the effect in that case. You would be using the effect. Not that it works that way anymore as written, but that is how that would be. Okay. While you're looking, I want to give a green light to Moses Rollins. I think he's very good. I think he's got his stuff figured out.
Yep, nice and simple.
Yep. Good job, Moses. Also, Moose kind of wants a fist ally, so I think this is nice to have. Okay. Yeah. Football helmet. I think I'm happy to green light this one as well, but I do feel like this one's going to need some testing. It might go up in experience I could see happening, or like some modifications, but I like this one enough to green light it as well. I think it's good.
Same. It feels like something we need to include in the set, just thematically.
Yep. Okay. Resigned to Fate. I'm still happy. I like this one a lot, but I'm still happy to leave it in yellow. But we do need 2 skills for this survivor. But I think still leaving it in yellow for now is okay for me.
Sure, we don't need to lock in just yet.
Yeah. I think Vaulting Pole also should go in green. I like it for the weapon. Again, we might want to have a way that it leaves play printed on it, like a, but it might complicate it a little bit. But I think it's also really nice. We want to probably include at least one weapon that can leave play on its own.
Yeah, we can touch that up later if need be.
Okay.
Even before we get to testing.
Sorry, I'm just going to close these. Resigned to Fate. Bast's Watchful Eye. Place one doom on your location. Attach Bast's Watchful Eye to attached location. Gets -X shroud, where X is the amount of doom on attached location. When the last clue is discovered for attached location, remove all doom from this location and add that many blessed tokens to the chaos bag. Discard Bast's Watchful Eye. So what do you think about this one after sitting on it for a bit?
As much as I think that we want more doom interactions for Delphine, I'm still yellow on this one.
Cool. I have also in a note where X is twice the amount of doom on attached location. But I'm happy to leave this one in yellow too for the time being.
Yeah, we can give it a try.
And then we got Good Hustle. 0 cost event, fast, play after you move 2 or more total times during your turn, draw a card and heal a horror. Works good for Moose, works good for Yvette.
Yeah, it's pretty simple and straightforward. We could green it, but it's not like essential to what we're doing here, so it can kind of.
Yeah, we can even see if maybe we can like. Oh, let's leave it yellow too, and then like see if maybe we can cook on it a bit more because it is very simple. Maybe we can add like just a little bumper, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to go with there. Speaking of good, I think fourth down is green. I like the card.
Yeah, I think it's filling a good niche both thematically and mechanically.
And it's always fun to have that one survivor card that we can include, and then maybe for some reason, like, you know, it's just like Lifeline, where it's like, oh, you know, it doesn't make it's one of those things where this card could be like either really great or we're just like out to lunch on it. I don't know, but it is. See, I love the flavor of it so much. The ready an asset is such an interesting addition on it that I think that there is something cool to do here.
I think generally survivors have more asset radiating effects than anyone else, but I might just be thinking of Pete and Wendy.
Yeah. And then I think we just leave Waste Not, Want Not for yellow right now, just because we've just worked on it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll pull that one back up once we get the art, but in the meantime, let's move on to Seeker and start looking at these guys. Fourth down just opened again just because it was like, pay attention to me, I'm back. Okay. The other thing about the stage manager is it's actually surprisingly difficult to design an ally that works with Seneca.
Yep.
It like has to be a forced effect for it to actually like not just leave play when it does.
Yeah, that was the tricky stuff I was having with the oh, did we even show off the ensemble member?
Oh no, we missed her. All right, let's show her off now. We could talk about her. Ensemble actress, 2-cost asset, book, ally performer. Soaks for 1 and 1 as an action. Exhaust ensemble actress. Stop 6 cards your deck for an ally asset and draw it. Shuffle your deck. You may discard ensemble actress to immediately play the chosen asset, paying its cost.
Ally searching, which Seneca does want, and if you discard her during the first use of the action, then you don't have to worry about her not being around for the second use of it.
Yep. Yeah, just some good tutoring. I like that. I like her. Draw, shuffle your deck. So the searcher for sled dogs. It's true. Holy Helicopter searches for sled dogs.
Let's go, dog handler.
She knows that like it's a show that, you know, there's gonna be dogs there. All right, annotated script. Let's talk about this one for the putting it in. 2 cost, unidentified, takes up the hand slot, item tome. At the end of your turn, if you took 3 different actions this turn, place 1 resource on annotated script. Then you may record in your campaign log that you have performed X scenes from the play, where X is number of resources on annotated script. If you do, discover 1 clue your location and remove annotated script from the game.
Yeah, this works with the stage manager as well if you're looking to do different actions.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, depth. There is a little... I actually didn't even realize that, but it is... There's kind of a theme running here, isn't there? I mean, I think this is a cool way to identify the book, too. I haven't looked at this one since we made it.
Yeah, this one might work. I can't find the name of the artist, but...
Nice. Nice. You go. Okay, I'll just quickly put that in. You can delay cashing in to get more scenes recorded. Yes. The idea for this one is it's like the Ancient Stone, where it's a mini game to try to get the biggest number. Do you want to hear about typo fixes? You can let me know a typo fix. Just don't be an asshole about it. We'll definitely make I'll definitely make typing mistakes. I'm not bothered by that. Annotated has two ends. Perfect.
I wasn't even paying attention to that. This is why we have editors.
Yep. Unknown artist. Bring. Perfect. All right. Well, for this one, we have to look at the full package before we can even get to greenlighting this one, because it'd be kind of funny to greenlight the the bottom one and then be like, I don't know about the upgrades.
No, we don't need them.
All right. So let's go to the comedic farce. 2 cost, 3 experience. They're all 2 cost and 3 experience. They all take up a hand slot. They're all an item in a tome. It uses X scenes, where X is the number of scenes performed from the play. As a reaction to the end of turn, if an investigator drew a card, spend 1 scene, then investigator draws another card and heals 1 horror. That is pretty good, but it's just card draw.
True, but it's card draw that people like Harvey would like.
Yeah. Should they have the research trait? They do, don't they? Oh, is there an actual trait that the cards have that have researched on them?
Is it?
They do not know. They have the keyword, though. Okay. This one is the historical epic, which is X scenes from the play. At the end of your turn, if you committed a skill card to a test, spend 1 scene. Search the top 3 cards of your deck for a skill and draw it, and shuffle your deck. It's like card draw, but for skills. But you don't get the horror healing out of it as well. But you get, like, selection. Also, I mean, like, card draw, if, like, is... You can get incidental card draw, but incidental skill committing is a lot easier. An investigator... At the end of your turn, if an investigator drew a card this turn... Yeah, it doesn't hurt to specify further, you're right. Whoopsie. Sorry, stream's over, guys. Bye! Drew a card this turn. Yeah, I agree. Turn investigator drew a card, but I'll be honest, I hate that this turn twice. If an investigator at the end of your turn, when your turn ends, yeah. Is there any difference between this when your turn ends and at the end of your turn?
I don't think there's any real difference.
Your turn ends, investigator drew a card this turn. Let's go back in time a bit. Turn. Drew a card. Your turn. If an investigator drew a card this turn. Drew 4 more cards. Drew 1 or more cards, send 1 scene. This turn. Turns out investigator drew one or more cards this turn, spend one scene, then investigator draws another card and heals one horror. Okay, what if we do this? No, I don't know. Turn ends investigator draw one card, so unseen. Then investigator draws another card. Draws a card. Would it be too powerful to just be... Yes. Well, it would be... well, I don't think it'd be too powerful, but it would... I mean, it probably would be pretty powerful, but it beats the... It goes against the intention of the card. Because this one cares about at the end of your turn, and they all care about at the end of your turn. Which now I have to go back to that wording, because all the other ones do.
Well, sometimes we shackle ourselves.
Yep. And then turn, if an investigator drew one or more cards this turn, spend one scene. Let's leave it at this right now. It probably should specify, but I'll just move on from how it sounds and looks awful. I think the skill one's fun. And then we have our tragic romance, which is mostly to work with Seneca. It works really well for him. 2 cost, X scenes. At the end of your turn, if you took damage or horror, spend one scene. Return the topmost ally in your discard pile to your hand.
It's good.
Yeah. So what do you think? What light do you want to give this cycle?
I think I'm willing to give it the green, but it may take some time to figure out if it's at the right level and cost.
Sure, but we like the... I guess it's more like the green is less about perfect balance and more about, like, do we think it'll make the cut? So I think, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it'll make the cut, but I do agree it probably needs a little bit of tweaking. Perf. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Dream Wanderer. 3-cost ally, you get +1 foot. I have not read her since we designed her. As a reaction, when the actor agenda advances, exhaust Dream Wanderer, heal 1 horror. You may discard Dream Wanderer to draw 2 cards instead. That's a neat card.
It's kind of in keeping with the temporary Seeker allies.
Yeah.
And of course, Seneca makes the most of that.
Yeah. How are you feeling? What do you want to give it? Think it'll make the cut, especially if we're going to do a dream thing throughout this?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Congratulations, Dream Wanderer. You're a green. Okay. I think also Ensemble Actress should make the cut. I think she fits the flavor. And we probably do need, like, at least 2 allies in green at Seeker level 0 for Seneca.
Yeah. Seekers are otherwise pretty asset light. Everything else is kind of gravy.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I think I want to leave Liminal Dreaming in yellow for now, but I think it probably will make the cut. What do you think?
Same. I think it's good crossplay between the investigators we've got and, again, dreaming.
Yeah. And I think, like the other one, I think Morbid Inspiration should just stay yellow for now, but I do think it'll probably make the cut as well because it works for Yvette. Also can work for Seneca with the annotated script of Tragic Romance, so that's nice.
Indeed it can.
Is there a card for multiple actor-related allies? There isn't, but that could be fun to do. I don't know about you, but I think Authorial Intent and Nancy Hamilton should just both be yellow for now. I think give them a bit of time.
Yeah.
But I think they're both Nice. Okay. Let's go to Mystic for the next one then. Which we have quite a bit of cards designed for.
I think you said earlier is that Mystic is very easy and fun to design for.
Yep. And
Whereas
Seeker.
Seeker is just like, what should I give them? Discover clues, draw cards. What else?
Yeah, yeah. They draw cards, they move. They move.
They move and discover clues.
Yeah.
Move and draw cards. Oh.
They draw cards, move, and discover clues. We did it!
At last. No, it's just Janae again.
Yeah, it's always just fucking Janae. Smiley said I stepped away, but Morbid Inspiration could be Seeker Mystic. It could be. It actually would be a very nice Seeker Mystic card. We're not doing multiclass for this, but I think you're 100% right on that, Dice Gods. All right. Cedric, we just talked about him staying yellow because he might not fit. We talked about that this morning, so we should just leave him as yellow for the time being, right?
Yep.
I think he is really cool, but I agree that he's not really fitting with the vibe anymore.
Of course, we could just reflavor him.
Yeah, that's easy, no problem. All right, I think all 3 channels are going to make the cut.
Yeah, it's a good cycle, and it's nice to be a cycle that isn't assets again.
Yeah. I think Channel Treachery is going to go hard. I'm very excited to playtest this card because I think it also is such a linchpin to so many other archetypes, like so many other like Doom payoff we have in this set. So I think that's super sick. Also, notably, Channeled Hatred works very well with just Delphine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Channeled, congratulations, you've made the cut. You are our events. I feel like it could end up happening that we want an extra event over asset in Mystic, but we'll have to see how everything else shapes up. I also want to just call it right now. I think Inherited Wisdom should make it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's filling a skill niche that hasn't been filled yet, and also is a Mystic skill, which seems to be very rare.
Yeah, it also will eventually work really well with Seneca, I'd wager. Not with our cycle, but potentially we can find... We probably want to make it like a level 0 ally, like you were saying, that can use it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Moonwine also should make the cut. It fits very well with Maxwell, right? He kind of was designed as an inspiration from this card.
I agree.
I guess it also does work very well with the Surging Power without me even realizing it. Because you're adding your fist to your brain for that one. That's funny. Funny how things just happen, you know? When you've been working on something, it's just subconsciously in you.
So, I don't know, maybe your brain working on the same channel even though you're telling yourself you're not.
Yep, yep. Coven Ritualist. Our first design card officially for this expansion. Do we still like her?
I think we do. I think she's pretty clean.
Yeah.
However, she's not a reaction ability, so... Or, well, she's not a free triggered ability, so she wouldn't work with the skill I made.
That is probably good. You probably don't want to be able to recur your recursion.
That is true.
All right, she'll make the cut, though. I mean, I think in theory we probably want 2 allies at level 0 in both Mystic and Rogue for Seneca. So we can do 1 reaction and 1 lightning bolt. I think that would probably work out pretty well. What allies? David Renfield does. David Renfield has the lightning bolt. Don't think it does anything because he has no doom on him, but... Okay. Loa's Wager. Initiate an attack, evasion test part of life. I mean, I think this is a pretty crucial piece in the puzzle.
Yeah, since we just want more Doom interplay,
Yeah.
it'll help aid that.
All right, I feel like right now, just looking at this, we'll probably want to do one extra event because we actually only have one event after this. I mean, I'll do AE. We can choose between asset or event for the last slot. But I'll move Loa's wager up there. And then Sanguimancy, I think just stays yellow. I think it's a great card, but I think it just stays yellow for the time being.
Yeah. It's an interesting card, but it's not really meant for anybody in this set.
Yep. Okay. Alyssa and Summon Hound, that's kind of sick. Alright, let's look at the upgrade stuff we have here for Mystic. And then we have Rogue, and then we can be done with all this admin stuff and we can start designing some cards. But this is part of the process. It's like when the designers in their AMA said most of our time designing is actually spent writing art breakdowns for artists.
I definitely believe that.
All right. I think Surging Power is a green. I think this card actually turned out to be pretty neat. What do you think?
I agree. And we can put the usual Mystic assets in the upgrade pool instead of trying to reinvent Shriveling again.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Beseech the Loa, I think, also should make it. I think this does a lot.
Yeah, and we can tinker with the numbers too, but
yeah. I like Hindrance Ritual, but I think it's okay to leave in yellow for the time being.
Yeah.
I think like if we had, like, I think you're right when I was incorrect earlier when I said they kind of eat each other's lunch, but I think you're right. There's space for both, but I think right now I like Beseech the Loa more. So if I'm only going to put one in, I think it should be Beseech the Loa, and we can see if we cook up other stuff that can potentially replace this as well.
That's fair.
And then Ancient Spear, I think, just stays yellow for the time being. But I do like this cycle.
Whole set is.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Okay. And now let's look at the Rogue, which I feel like we haven't like really touched on in forever. There's also a lot of Rogue cards. One of these is already a red, so we'll just quickly show that one and then say how it's not going to make it at all. It's our first actual red. Will Surging Power also have an Investigate and Evade version? It might have an Investigate version. I don't know if we want to waste time with an Evade version. I say that with the utmost kindness. But there's a lot of... Just place,
like,
yeah.
Like think of Spectral Razor, read the signs, who here is actually using ethereal form?
Yeah, yeah. And like that's the nice thing about our channel Treachery is the card is actually so good that that's kind of the evade spell in the cycle. All right, Modified Luger ain't gonna make the cut. I gave this one a red beard, but I if you want to give it a yellow, I'm down. But I feel like I gave this one a red. I just feel like it doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah. It's a good thought experiment, but
yeah. But I think it just
at least.
Yeah, it doesn't fit here. Okay. I think that these ones, the loop, the ball-peen hammer, and the snuff box, all should get green with the same thing, like play with the numbers and testing. But I think they all fit in the cycle, and they're probably worth it.
I agree. It's more options for level 0 rogues, which always feel a little limited compared to some of the other ones.
With that said, I think Understudy should also make the cut.
I think so too. He's definitely built for both Seneca and general meat grinder decks, of which Rogue has a lot.
Here's a question for the first reaction effect. Would that trigger us Seneca's ability or not because it's in your hand?
That's a good question. What's Seneca's ability worded exactly?
Let's find out. It's just loading up.
maybe we need to change that to resolve an ability on an ally you control. But then again, then it wouldn't work with his signature because we designed
That's
her
right,
to...
yeah. I mean, we could tweak her. Let's pull her up. Oh, I mean, I'll pitch something. Let me pitch something for this. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this over, but I think it's gonna fit the same thing, but also kind of be. Um, um, What if we did like something like this? It's kind of the same thing, but she's eating some space for the time being. We could also change the resource, but it could be like this, because a similar sort of thing, but then we could change Seneca Roads to a card you control, right?
Yeah, that seems a bit more clean overall as well.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, we could probably call it 2 resources. Because you have to, like, waste the draw to get her. But I guess you did in the first one, too. Let's leave our 1 for now, and we can see. But I think this is nicer. And then we can change Seneca to on an ally you control. Yep, that seems good. Cool. And now understudy works. Perfect. Back to that, I think that he's a green. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts?
Yep, green.
Okay, tackle. Fast. Play when you initiate an attack against a non-elite enemy engaged with you. Move to connected location. If this attack succeeds by 3 or more, exhaust the attacked enemy. Oh, okay, 1 second. Before we also do that one, let's also talk about shake them off. Move to connecting location. You may disengage with a non-elite enemy engaged with you. Move to a connecting location. Because I feel like these are both very similar. Do we want both, or do we want to, like, green one and yellow the other? What do you think?
Personally, I think we should green the football one that's flavor-wise working with him.
Yeah. And then yellow shake them off?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm down for that. Okay, shake them off. Sorry, tackle is gone. Shake them off stays. Okay. Bootleg Jin. I want to keep it yellow just because you and I are both kind of averse to XP cards, so I think we want to see if we can cook some other stuff. But I do like it. But I do think I want to keep it. Also because it's a myriad card, which everything so far is 2, which we can adjust very easily. We can just make an exceptional card on the high end, right?
Yeah, because Rogue is the exceptional pool.
Yeah. But I think personally, I'm happy to keep it yellow for now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think yellow's fine. Because I was going against all my instincts design.
Yeah. And then we have Suave. I think this one's also just yellow for the time being too. We can see if we can cook up something else, but I do like how it works with Moose. You did do something cool there.
Yeah. And I agree, it can stay yellow. It's not really tuned into what the set is doing flavor-wise, but at least mechanically it is.
Yeah. And then we have just the spear in the upgraded thing, which we know we're going to leave yellow, so that's fine. Okay. With all that said and done, we have now done every class for what we have printed. Should I choose the class that we have the least with, and then we can start poking on that?
That sounds good.
All right. Well, it's gonna be Seeker or Survivor. Why don't we do some boring Seeker stuff today?
Yeah, let's see if we can make Seeker less boring.
Yeah.
It is a weird balance to strike because more than any other class, if they start doing non-Seeker things, people are like, oh, it's eating this class's lunch.
Yeah. So we just got to make a whole new archetype for Seekers. Just in the next 5 minutes, we just need to design a whole new archetype for Seekers to play with. Okay, let's see.
Nothing could be simpler.
All right, let me pull up our little thing. So we have annotated script, Dream Wanderer, and ensemble actress. All right. Beard, do me a favor. Why don't you pull up a piece of art and let's start there.
Sure. Do you want asset, event, or skill?
Let's do an event. Let's do an event.
Let's see here.
I want to design a 4-cost Seeker event.
I think I linked this one earlier when we were brainstorming Seneca, but I think this one looks like it could be a good event.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Well, I got the name for it right now. Writer's block. I've been there.
That seems almost more like a weakness then.
I know, I was thinking the same thing too, but I could potentially we could potentially do something with this with right if we can change it if need be, but I have a thought. This is a nice piece of art. Do you have the artist?
I could not find the name of the artist for this one.
No worries. Unknown it is. Everybody's favorite. Okay. Don't know if the cost is going to fit on this, but we'll just put it to 0 again. Okay. What does that 1 card cost? All right, let's start piecing this together to see what comes up. I'm gonna put a little stipulation on this card, and let's see if it inspires anything. Play only if your location has no clues on it. I'm a Seeker. What would I do otherwise?
One other potential is if you've got a lot of cards in hand that you don't want to use.
That's exactly what I was thinking about originally as well, right? Like, play only if you have 6 or more cards in hand. So the easy thing is like a wheel. Wheels are very powerful effects, which we kind of already have. We already have a wheel in the form of Glimpse the Unthinkable.
Yeah.
All right, here's a weird thing. Choose. I'm just typing. I don't know if it's actually going to work or if it's going to be good. When you draw this during the upkeep phase, reaction resign.
Nope, I'm cooked.
Swap.
I don't know. I think I've got something that might be fun.
All right.
It's like discard your entire hand, and then for every X cards discarded, do something.
Okay. Entire hand. For every 2 cards discarded this way.
I guess it'd be discard each card in your hand.
Yeah. This is like one with nothing in Magic the Gathering. So what's a good payoff for discarding your entire hand? I mean, George Barnaby's like, don't mind if I do.
George would love this card. Reduce the shroud of each location until the end of your turn.
Oh, shoot. Reduce the shroud of each location. It could be until the end of your turn. We could go crazy, though, and make this an experience card and be until the end of the round.
We could do both.
Yeah.
Level 0 or level 1 or whatever we put this is just till the end of the turn, and
Yeah.
the other one is till the end of the phase.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in my playtest of Seneca, he is card crazy because of Laboratory Assistant.
That's kind of the problem I had with Big Hand. It was like, in the few times I played Big Hand Archetype, I'm like I'm drawing everything I need, but I either can't play it all, or I don't have the pieces to make it pay off.
Yeah.
So this is like, no matter how many cards you've got in your hand, you'll get something out of it.
Sorry, this does not just reduce the shroud of each location. Reduce the shroud of each location by 1. For 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud of each location, of each revealed location. We should say that as well. 1 until the end of your turn. That's interesting, isn't it?
It's definitely something.
It's a different secret card for sure. We mission accomplished there. Yeah, then draw 1 card.
Yeah, you need some kind of replenishment at the end to, like, when your turn ends, draw, I don't know, 2 cards.
Yeah. I don't think people are going to want to spend an action to discard their hand.
Fast, yeah, especially if you're trying to make the most of the reduction.
Yeah. Oh, that Investigate's actually really nice. Damn next.
What's that?
Add then. Like that. We could maybe drop the fast on that then. This could just be an Investigate action that reduces the shroud like crazy.
That's a good one.
So like this. What I like about this is this also works with the Stage Manager. because there's a play and investigate, so you could, if you choose one of them.
Oh, that's good interplay.
Discard a card in your hand. For every 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud of each reveal location by 1 until the end of your turn, then investigate. This has got me thinking. This has got me cooking. Discard this way.
Also, for your consideration, a few Edgar Allan Poe quotes that you could slap on there.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, man, these are all great.
My first thought was like, I need a famous author who's just languishing. It's got to be Poe.
It's got to be. Do you have a favorite of the 3? Because I'm drawn to 2, and I want to see if you can just like split the vote for me without you even knowing which one I like.
I think the cat one.
Okay.
Which ones were you drawn to?
Cat and the bottom one.
Yeah.
So if we each have one we're voting for, that works. Discard each card in your hand. For every 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud of each revealed location by 1 until the end of your turn, then investigate.
I say that this should not get a book icon because it's a writer's block.
I agree. It should get a fist icon because it makes you want to fight.
It makes you want to take to drink.
Yeah, I guess probably agility is fine.
I mean, look at the art there. He's got like a whole pharmacy on his desk there.
Yeah. Okay, discard each card in your hand. For 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud of each revealed location by 1 until the end of your turn. Then investigate.
Should it be an insight?
What's another option?
I don't know. Seeker traits are kind of limited.
Yeah.
Let's check Arkham DB. For the full list of Seeker events, it's Insight, Tactic, Science, Gambit, Improvised. Improvised is good.
Yeah, I think improvised is nice. Marion Tavares, eat your heart out. Hand for 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud value of each revealed location by 1 until the end of
Maybe
your turn.
Fortune as well. I don't know.
Oh, Desperation.
Desperate? Oh, that could work. I mean, it's only been on skill so far, but why not?
Let's just go Desperate. I like it. Why not? We are our own. I guess, you know, chat, we'll put improvise as well. I think that's fine. You're right. Wilson needs it. Marion could use it. There's something there.
Should we make a fight counterpart in Guardian?
Maybe we could design it for sure.
That's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the question is, would you still discard your entire hand for an action to just investigate once, or should this still be fast?
Maybe we should make it optional. Discard any number of cards from your hand. I mean, I do like the discard your entire hand thing, because that's what makes it desperate.
Yeah.
But I think because you're giving him an investigate action too after reducing the shroud, it's fine not being fast.
Yeah, because it is just a basic investigate at that point, kind of. Discard each card in your hand. For every 2 cards discarded this way, reduce the shroud of each revealed location by 1 until the end of your turn. Does it need the non-weakness reminder? No, I think players can look that. They can that can be like a learning moment. They can look it up. All right, I think we also make the upgraded version.
Oh, should it cost 0 still?
I think so. You're burning your whole hand. You're already
That's
losing
fair.
all those resources. I think 0 seems fair. I guess the question then comes up, but what do I spend my resources on after I've discarded my whole hand? What do you think? Do you think zero's fine, or do you want to bump it up a bit?
I don't know. If you're struggling to spend resources, I think you just need a more expensive deck.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like I'm just like, the resources for this is like the cards in your hand. So I feel like that's the cost of the card.
Yeah.
Because, like, realistically, I want to discard at least 4 cards to this. We should make a card that benefits if it's discarded.
Oh, like in the secret class, if this is discarded from your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Upgraded writer's block. Let's make it level 2. Until the end of the round. Two cards discarded this way reduce the shroud of each reveal location by 1 until the end of the round. I mean, we could make it 3 and be fast as well.
I think if it's reducing the shroud of all locations until the end of the round, fast is a bit
Pretty
too
good.
much.
Yeah. All right. I think this is fine for this. Oopsie. Okay, and then I'll go writer's block. Level 2. Okay, should we do a discard one?
Yeah, another seeker event that wants to be discarded.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, even without that card, it's a card that you want to just keep in a big hand to discard during upkeep.
Yeah. So I guess we're kind of, from the sounds of it, we're building a big hand size deck here, kind of. But like hand size is a resource. It's kind of like the archetype that's shaping up here is what I'm picking up.
A little bit, just because that was your experience in
Seneca, yeah.
in testing Seneca. Just that you're loading up on cards and being very judicious about what you want to play.
When full name.
Would be funny to make an asset that actually reduces your max hand size instead of increases it.
Oh, no, that's actually, here, 1 second. I was actually thinking something like that as that, and we can merge it together. So let me just start poking on that. I have a thought.
You continue with your thought. I'll see if I can find relevant art.
Okay. Let's do this. I don't know how to word this. Okay, I think we're building a. Okay, this is the archetype. Small hand size, hand size. Fewer instead of less? Yeah, it should be fewer. Eating Survivor's pie? There it is. Is this Eating Survivor's pie? And don't say the XP card, because that ain't small hand size.
Fortunately, it wouldn't do anything with Patrice because she always draws up to her maximum hand size.
Yeah. Yeah, they have one card that reduces hand size. I don't think this is Survivor. I think it's actually Seeker because of pessimistic outlook kind of thing. This is what I was thinking, Beard, and I think it actually your idea and my idea work well. So mine was that like it's a draw a card if you have less than your maximum hand size, but also reducing your maximum hand size means that you're kind of using them for the resources, which I think is kind of neat.
Yeah, stuff like Occult Lexicon.
Yeah. Oh, it also works really well with Writer's Block. Because you burn your hand, but then you're quicker to, like, rebuild your hand. Maximum hand size, exhaust full name, draw one card. Would I play 2 of these, reduce my hand size to 4, and then just commit all my cards? I'd play this in a skill deck for sure, man. A min. Oh, it sounds like a fun time.
This might work.
We're just giving Seneca the worst time of his life.
He knew what he was getting into.
Yeah. This one's also called Writer's Block. Seeker hand size asset. I think we'd make it a tiny bit bigger. Zoom on the hand, yeah. I like seeing the books on the side. Maybe not that much. Yeah, that seems okay. Alright, what should we call this?
Well, if it helps, the original painting that I got this from is called The Passion of Creation.
What if we call it, yeah, Creative Passion?
I think it's getting there, but it's not quite what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Watch us recreate what this guy's doing.
Is it a talent? Probably. It's gonna be the resource cost on the card. Probably 3. I feel like this should cost 3.
Yeah, definitely.
That just feels right.
I'm not sure what word would be the right one, but it'd be like you're being over particular about your works, like maybe just like perfectionist or something like that.
I think perfectionist is perfect. Can you find a quote from like? There's probably some sort of quote from an artist who is like, "I love making art. It's the worst thing and the worst thing in the world," or something like that.
That's probably like 90% of artists.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be a perfect quote to have on this. It's probably talent as well. I think talent's just the thing for this. Okay, this is a fun archetype that's shaping up though. This like low hand size, max hand size seeker. Or also just like the how much being creative can be a nightmare at times. I think this is a fun flavor as well.
Okay, I'm looking through a list here. We're not going to use this one, but a funny one is the guy who painted American Gothic. Is all the really good ideas I ever had came to me while I was milking a cow. From your hand effect. Oh! Had an idea?
Yeah, for this discard me card. To work with Moose. You may move to a connected location. I think I want a more interesting effect for that one. Shuffle it into your deck instead. That's not bad. It's not bad. Do we have yet a card that do stuff if X amount of card alter hand size? Sorry, can you? I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but I'd love to know what you're talking about. Your hand, you may move to a connected location. If 5 card alter hand size. Sorry, I don't know what you mean by a 5 card alter hand size. Like, what do you mean by that? Like lab assistant. Like how they just have the passive hand size modifier. No, we don't have any. Well, we have this one. We'll reduce your maximum hand size by 2 for this one. Think about the timing of the move. Yeah, that's it. So before I even read the rest of your message, damn next, effects that can like this move during it are very dangerous because of the timing issues it creates. Because I imagine that's what your question is referring to, or your statement is referring to. When you discard this event with the discard the whole hand, do you move and investigate or investigate and move? I would say, with my limited knowledge of how this game works, which is crazy because I've been playing it for like 10 years, you would move and then do the investigate. Because you resolve the whole thing in full, then comma investigate. That's how I would read the rules for that one.
Also not going to use this one, but Ernest Hemingway has a quote, "The first draft of anything is shit."
Yeah, that's kind of like where I was hoping to find the vibe, but yeah, it'd be kind of hard to print shit on a card.
Just a bit. I think Hemingway's a bit anachronistic too. He was like 50s.
Yeah. We're drawing cards. Drawing during the upkeep phase.
A lot of the quotes I'm finding are better for the writer's block one.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I mean, if you finally go in for the writing block one, we could add the I remain too much inside my head and end up losing my mind as well. For the Edgar Allan Poe one, we could do that one on the the Perfectionist.
True. These are the two I've found so far.
A non-writing rhymer is a monster courting insanity. This thing one discovers in composing a work. First. I like those. I like those. Do you have one that you are leaning towards of the two?
Not particularly in this case.
I think the Pascal one fits a little bit better for this. Let's put that and we can see and we can spend some time. We don't need to settle on that for right now, but...
Oh wait, I've got a good one.
Ooh, let's go. It's just the Ernest Hemingway one again.
Should be. Jefferson was a huge perfectionist.
Nice. No. I guess it's not the end of the world if we do it like that.
And do the double hyphens to get the longs dash.
Nice.
There you go.
Sweet.
In spite of making Perfectionist, we'll have to say good enough.
Yes, yeah.
This one we can do like a will icon or something.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, I don't know about this one still for the discard, but I feel like it probably would be a good thing to have. I have the move to connecting location for Moose and also like just survivor discard, but it could be something else because it does, as I was telling to chat when you were looking up the quote, create issues in terms of like timing and stuff. But I think those are already pretty common in Arkham, right? Because you could like shortcut during a test.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can already shortcut during a test. Oh no, it's fast. Those ones are, no, that's a lightning bolt window. But you could do it during shortcut 2. You could do it during a test. That already exists, so I don't think we need to worry about that if it's already really popular in Arkham. Those are like the things that, the edge cases that people can just solve themselves. But what else could it be?
I think I've got the art and flavor for this one.
Nice.
You can call this back to the drawing board. You have a piece of crumpled paper that looks like a rose.
Nice. Okay, I mean, I guess what we could actually do... One second. I'm just gonna... Is it draw a card or draw one card? I always forget in this one.
I think it's draw a card. I don't know, they're kind of used interchangeably.
Perfect. At the drawing board is discarded from your hand effect. Not wild, that's supposed to be agility. What do you think the effect should be on discard?
Maybe replenishing secrets.
That's kind of neat. Are you excited for the movie standalone? Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like a fun time.
Trying to think what else would be more fitting. We already have other cards that shuffle back into your deck, so I don't want to dip into that too much.
No. I have a weird thought.
Go for it.
I'm going to start with the replenish one secret. control until the end of the round. So the reason I thought for this is that it doesn't do anything if you discard it 2 hand size, but if you find a way to discard it before, you could potentially get out of it. Could also be used to set up like a writer's block for the next turn to make it slightly better. Especially if you're going Perfectionist. Also lets you draw a card with Perfectionist as well.
What about just...
It's a weird... I have an even weirder thing. Let's just get rid of this for a second.
Sure, I'm not attached to any of this yet.
I don't know what I'm going with this, but... Don't know what I'm doing with this. What if we decrease?
You could also see it doing something like, instead of replenishing, it returns an asset to your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that does fit with the asset you control. Like a bounce effect.
Probably should be non-story just in case.
Yeah. Okay, I have another thing as well. When I'm thinking like back to the drawing board, I'm thinking like step 1. Each investigator 4 less cards hand draws a card. To kind of like get like back to the mulligan, you know? Like this opening mulligan of 5 cards.
Could also ready an asset.
Yeah.
But if this is during upkeep, that would be very useless.
Yeah. In their hand, not opening hand. So the 4 or less is also interesting because it works with Perfectionist. If you assuming you have 2 of them in play, your new max hand size is 4. Is
true. Because if you discard during upkeep, this would be after you check your max hand size, and you could go above max hand size.
yeah.
Well, you would be discarding this card, but
Yeah.
yeah. The group support is nice, but at the same time, back to the drawing board seems more like a personal thing.
I agree. I agree. But we can't just have you just draw a card if you have 4 or less cards in hand, because that's like nothing. I like the bounce idea. I like the replenish idea. I mean, honestly, of each of these, I think like it's like replenish. I think that first one, replenish one's secret. Sorry, until the end. Yeah. But I guess it's like, I guess the question is like, the reason why I like the max hand size increase was the idea that, yes, discarding this to hand size is an easy way, but I feel like there should be a reward for discarding this like during your turn. I guess we could just do that. Replenish. It could be like that, because then it's like there's a reward for doing it during your turn and not just during upkeep.
Yeah, then you'd have, I mean, there's precedent for it with stuff like cryptic writings if you draw it during your turn.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
That asset.
For level 0 card, it's just fine.
That is true, Helicopter. If you add ready in an asset, it'll be a reward on your turn, a reward for your turn without outright saying so. That is true. I'm sorry, what did you say, Beard? I was just reading the chat when
No, I was just saying it seems good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can leave this for now. I think this is an okay place to stop for that one. Okay. What could we explore further in this low hand size deck?
I'm almost wondering if you could do something like the opposite of Seleno fragments.
Yep. Traits are missing. Not traitless card. Desperate again.
This is a desperate set.
Desperate improvised. 100%. It's the same flavor as our writer's block, I think.
Yep.
I think a reverse Seleno fragments is pretty sick. What also could be cool is like a reverse grim memoir, which sounds strange, but I think we probably want something that has secrets on it, right? Because I don't think we have that yet. I mean, why don't we design both and see? We can do the reverse for each of them. Oopsie, wrong spot. What's the bullet tab? It's just bull?
Yeah, just bull. You can do a bold tab to get it over.
Oh, what, sorry?
Before the bold, just put bold tab.
Ah, I see. That's bullet tab. I get you. Funnily enough, it looks like Seleno Fragments actually doesn't have that. That's crazy.
They probably had to scrunch text, so we'll have to see how much we need to as well. Maybe you can only give the book at 0 cards, because having 1 or 2 cards is very easy to have in Arkham.
Down? I'm down. We call it reverse, but this really should be called evil Solano fragments. I mean, this is the no hand size, like, type thing, low hand size stuff.
Do we want to make this a book or some other artifact?
I like another artifact. It's a little bit more exciting. Manuscripts also. Someone says a manuscript could be good. Yeah, to fit with the theme as well. Yeah, probably a manuscript would fit better.
Yeah.
Charm, 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 charm. Yeah, this could be a... Well, no, it's probably going to be a manuscript item tome. Sorry, Astute. Unless we want to call it, like, favorite pen. Wouldn't it be fewer, not less? Yeah, I always do that. Don't worry about it, chat.
I wasn't going to say anything because it felt pedantic.
No, the one thing I know about chat is they love... Oh, look what you fucking did, chat! You broke the formatting!
Now we got to get rid of the bold tabs.
Now, the one thing I know is that people love to talk about errors, but they don't love talking about design. No shots at you, chat, but... Solano manuscripts? Now we're cooking. Sorry, Astute, I don't think this will fit as a charm. Unless Beard has something up his sleeve.
We'll see what I can find for art.
I'm going to make this cost 2 over 1. Because I think it's just easier to have less cards in hand than it is to have more cards in hand. No, but chat, I'll guarantee I'm always going to get the fewer wrong. That's just a promise.
I had a funny idea. Let me see if I can find the art to support it.
Well, less, so fewer is used for countable nouns, and less is used for uncountable nouns. Less, so in the example for less, they have less sugar. I think you could count the amount of sugar. It would take a lot of time, but I think that is countable. Should this be unique? Yeah, it should be. We don't want 2 of these. Evil Solano fragments.
So I did find one decent one. It's not really a script, but it's a paperback book. But I had the idea of if you go more, I don't know, aesthetic with it, and you have either like the actor holding the skull or...
Oh, yeah. And then we can do charm. I like charm. I think this would be cool as a charm. I'm down. Yorick's skull.
This seems artsy enough.
Is there an artist for this one?
Yeah, I forgot to include that.
Oh, nice. This is a nice piece of art.
Yeah, I always like to save nice ones I stumble across. I think 3 resources is fair for it because you can get down to those card numbers without even like teching around it.
Sounds great. I'm down. I had it down a bit in case we wanted to add a tagline, because I think we should.
Oh, like a subtitle?
Yeah. Like, I was thinking like something like that, not exactly this, but along the lines, like just a prop, question mark?
I remember hearing that there was an actor who like donated his skull to be used in production of Hamlets for...
Oh. Actor donates skull to Hamlet. Andrei Tchaikovsky to bequeath the skull to the royal. It was used in the 2009. Oh.
Finally made it big. His own skull. It was like part of his will.
Yeah. Oh, so that either like this, the name of the card, or this should be like bequeathed prop. And like a reference to that, that could be pretty fun. We can't just call it Yorick's skull, right?
that one Billy York is playable.
Yeah.
You can probably just call it like either Poet Skull or Thespian Skull or something like that.
Yeah. You know what? Let me look up. All right, we're gonna go Jester's skull because Yorick was a jester.
Alas.
I mean, that's pretty sick.
No, it's too. We don't want skulls with Henry.
I can put this up a little bit now. Down 1. All right. I like this. Subtitle quote from the Yorksby, "Not one now to mock your own grinning." I like that. I mean, I like that a little bit more than the one I have here, which is just Alas Poor Yorick. I think this is pretty nice.
You can probably also shift that quote box down like 1 or 2 just to
Not,
make
yeah,
it a
like
little
that.
less... Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Evil Solano worked out pretty good. So look at this. We actually have done something cool with this secret thing today. It is possible.
All I can think of is like we're not really doing that much different, but all I can think of is the red letter media. It broke new ground.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at this right now. Just looking at our breakdown. We have 2 more spots for assets, and we've designed 2 assets at level 0. So we either could add another asset and cut an event, or we could make this revert, because we want something that spends secrets, because we don't have that yet. If we're going to do back to the drawing board, we probably want something that spends secrets.
We could add an arcane asset for seekers. They don't really have a lot.
Yeah,
of
and you did
those.
say we wanted to make more arcane stuff. Arcane. You vote for a magical smoke machine? Now we're cooking. Amina would like this card, chat. You're astute. Good job. And Beard, nice job finding the skull. That was a good idea, too. I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, should this maybe something about like if it's it expands on the different the different action archetype that we're kind of building as well?
It could. I think I've got an idea for flavor.
All right. Oh, that's the best place to start.
You know, like in theater where you're like not supposed to say the name Macbeth, that kind of thing.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. This all the superstitions.
Yeah. It's not really a charge, it's a secret.
Can we do a can we maybe we can make like an event that attaches to a location to reference the ghost lights at theaters? That's still one of my favorite like lore from like theaters. So for people who don't know, they leave a light on stage in the overnight for the ghosts in the theater.
Yeah, we can do that as like an XP event.
Yeah, I think that could be pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna put this reverse grim into our XP category, I think.
Okay.
And then I'll also get the ghost light going as well, and I think that should be an event because it'll attach.
See if I can find art that would suggest that.
For the ghost light or the superstition?
For the superstition one.
Yeah, yeah. One second. From your story, I thought the light is friendly to ghosts. Yeah, but then it goes away. So the ghosts are pissed.
Like the Geist interaction, like with the Oculus Mortem.
Yeah, I'm just being stubborn and trying to word it in a way that it still hurts them, even if it's not a relic, without making it a relic. We could just make it a relic, but it really in real life is just a light bulb on a stick. But it's also a fantasy game.
I don't think it needs relic because I don't think the Oculus Mortem has relic either.
It doesn't, but that's the issue that everyone says, that it doesn't actually damage any of the ghosts that it says it damages. Because those guys can only be damaged by relics for most of them. And that's what people
That's a bit
say.
of a puzzler.
Even though I personally disagree, but, you know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Says they cannot. Damage.
Maybe blank their text box except for traits and then deal damage.
Yeah. You know, I'll just make a reminder text because then people can't argue with it. We've made it work this way. Just discard them. Oh boy, that's much better than a one experience card. I guess it is a tech card, but I like it for one experience because Carson can play it, which I think is kind of important. Yeah, place one damage. Place one damage and all Geist enemies at attached location.
Those tricky wordings.
Yep. I guess the way to do it in the rule, all Geist enemies take one damage, treating their text box as if they was blank is probably the way to do it that actually works in the rules framework, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And then I can have except for traits in here. Now that actually works with the rules framework. Missing the at location? No, I'm not. No, that was a conscious thing. It just dings all the Geists.
I think they mean, all Geists at any location.
Yes, yeah. Because the ghost light got snuffed out. They're like, what the hell? That was for me. What should the trait be? I think it should be an item. There is precedent for items and events. Fortune, maybe?
Blessed.
Blessed? Yeah, I like blessed.
Maybe also a charm. I don't know. That feels like it should be an asset instead. So maybe, yeah, item, fortune.
Yeah. I guess we should do, one second, let me look at the Ravenclaw. Because I have a feeling like maybe that puts it, no, it does put it first. Dude, that's crazy. Ravenclaw's item relic upgrade. Man, they cooked with that one.
Rex can't take this because the ghosts are still haunting him.
Yeah. Eat it, Rex.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think it probably just costs 1. And then add like a double willpower. Seems right, because it's a defensive card. I think that's okay.
Seems okay.
Like, this card ain't great, but I think it's flavorful and fun, and a support build could potentially play it. To be honest, I never understood the Geist controversy on Mortem. Those enemies can still take the damage. I mean, I didn't understand it for different reasons, but I'm not going to talk about it here. Find any art for the Superstition one?
I've got a few candidates, but I'm not really sold on any of them yet. Like, I know what I'd put in an art brief, but I'm not finding it.
Oh my god, is that actually a fucking art piece? Oh, no, there's a copyright. I mean, that's okay.
We don't give a hoot about copyright.
Pardon?
We don't give a hoot about copyright.
Oh no, but it's a watermark in the middle of the piece.
Oh.
But it's like literally a ghost light on the stage of a theater. I could probably edit that out, which is a little bit fucked up, but I might still do it. Let me just save this. Oh. I think this is... It's a real photo edited, but I think it might work.
I mean, I've edited photos for pictures before.
Here, I'll throw this one in. Let me see if I can also find an artist for this. Pin.
Suppose this will work.
Okay, I'll put unknown for now. There, 1 second, let me just get this one into... No, make it smaller again. All right, let's see this one. Ah, that's kind of fun. Unknown.
UNON.
Okay.
Let me zoom in a bit. That might help fit more of the switchboard in it.
Maybe I can get a bit of the curtain on this side. Bring down a bit.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably bring his elbow down close to the bottom of the frame, see what that does.
Maybe I can make it a bit smaller now too. Let's try 65. Okay.
It's all right.
Maybe scoot it up slightly. All right, well, hard part's down to finding the art. Now we just have to come up with the card part.
So I think this is definitely like a ritual instead of a spell.
I agree.
Not sure if it should get any other traits.
Just gonna call this like theater superstitions for now, but superstitions is also a good thing we can call it. Now what does it do? So your flavor
Maybe
is
it
like
has
the Macbeth thing, so what were you thinking? Had any thoughts on this?
Let me look up the wording of this card real quick. Something like the opposite of dream enhancing serum.
Oh, okay.
Where it has to do with like copies of cards or the titles of cards. So like when you draw a card that's already in your discard pile, something like that.
Okay.
Like when you draw a card and a copy of that card is in your discard pile, spend one secret.
Spend one secret.
Maybe either play that card paying its cost.
Yeah.
Or shuffling the copy in your discard pile into your deck or something. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I like the discard though, the card in your discard pile, because it does kind of feel like the past, right? The past superstitions and all that, keeping in line with them.
Yeah.
Shuffling your deck is interesting, but I mean, I guess like, what is that? I mean, like, that is good. I agree with you and also Damn Next in chat, but I think that feels a bit more like survivory to me, for like the recursion part of things.
maybe spend one secret, play that card, reducing its cost by X, where X is the number of copies in your discard pile.
Yeah. We also could do something a little bit more. We could do something a little bit more fun to kind of go with the superstitions, like where X if it is an event, Y. Sorry, if it is an asset, Y if it is an event, Z if it is a skill. Could kind of fit with like the whole superstitions thing, where like each thing has its own like effect associated with it.
Yeah.
Play that card. Sorry, that was supposed to be for the asset. I guess it could be shuffle.
I don't know, this seems a little overcomplicated here.
I wonder if just going to bullet tabs might be simple. Just I'm gonna just explore. Let's just see.
What about put the copy in your discard pile underneath theater superstitions, and then something happens?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Card in your discard pile beneath theater superstitions.
Maybe then, if there are no secrets on superstitions, discard it and draw each card beneath it.
Ooh, that's pretty spicy.
It'd have to be an XP card for that.
Yeah, I think this was I had this already in our XP side anyway, so I'm down. Or no. And draw. Then if there are no secrets on theater superstitions, discard it and draw cards beneath it. This is like seekery recursion for sure.
true, but you need to be drawing the other copies of the cards to recur them.
Yeah. I think, what if we did, then if there are no secrets, on, shuffle all cards beneath it, your deck, and discard. I think like the shuffle makes it like a slower recursion, which feels like also like then you have to draw it as well, but you are still recurring. But I guess that is kind of just cycling, right?
Selective cycling, yeah. What if there's just a separate ability to do stuff with the cards beneath them?
Yeah.
Like after, I don't know, after you discover a clue from a location, this is what it's going to be, just a baseline. After you discover a clue from a location, shuffle a card beneath Theater Superstitions into the top, like, 6 cards of your deck or something like that.
What if it was, what if we ate some rogue lunch?
Can't think of a reason not to.
So test. Shuffle that card when this test ends. So this is like a an evil dream enhancing serum, but it's also kind of like the crystallizer. Also very nice for skills, yes, which is in Seeker's Pie.
Indeed.
It's all evil. Discard pile spell when Secret, put that card in your discard pile beneath Theater Superstitions.
You should put a colon after the trigger then.
Yes, this one. For this, right? For which one?
For the second ability, it should just be a colon after the...
Yep. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Card that's already in your discard pile spell one secret. Put the card in your discard pile beneath Theater. I guess it would be like a
Maybe we could also just exhaust the card to do the commit.
Yeah. Attach the card in your discard pile to... because then we can drop this. Commit an attached card to attest to your location. Yeah, and then we can go exhaust.
You don't have to do the limit once per test. Yeah.
Draw a copy of a card that is already in your discard pile. Spend one secret. Attach the card in your discard pile to Theater Superstitions. As a lightning bolt, exhaust Theater Superstitions. Commit an attached card to attest to your location. Shuffle that card into your deck when this test ends. What, 3 secrets maybe? 3 extra skills? Yeah, you can use it for other things, but like this is primary skills. It could, I mean, depending on the experience level, it could be 4 as well, but I feel like 3 is a good place to start.
Yeah, recursion is best when it's pretty limited.
Yeah. I think we want to make this level 2 because we want survivors to be able to play with it. Sorry, I have level 2 for that. This reads Gift of Nodens. Yeah, it's Gift of Nodens for skills, but you also can use it to just, like, recur.
Maybe,
it is very...
maybe the commit part is what's making it very Nodens.
Yep.
So we could get rid of the commit and just let you shuffle it in once per turn and then add a few more secrets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the shuffling into the top few cards of your deck. Which is so...
I feel like that's just like free recursion, though. I mean, I know you have to have a copy, but that's kind of like what it is.
True, but then you could cycle them because the other card would ostensibly be in your discard pile.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked waiting until all the secrets were spent before something happens.
Yeah. Sorry, you discard pile, spend 1 secret. Win the game. It's so tight on space. Card that is already in your discard pile. Spend 1 secret. Alright, what if we change it up a little bit?
I'm listening.
Attach the drawn card to it instead.
All right.
So you give up value now for value later. Interesting. So then, like, what if we did, like... we also should change the name. It's eating up so much space. Like, what if we just call it Superstitions?
I don't know. That doesn't seem particularly Seeker to be just superstitious. Let's see.
Oh my god, the name is so big.
Doesn't seem to be another word for it. I don't think you need to do that. Just pre-trigger if there are no secrets on this. We can also cheat by saying discard instead of theater superstitions.
Would the thing still be here? Yeah, it'd still be here, right?
No, it would be after the condition if there are no secrets on this card.
That's... I believe you. That seems strange, but I believe you in a heartbeat.
Because it's technically a cost. The condition is the cost, I guess.
Oh, okay, I have a weird idea.
Go for it.
Nope, that's too strong. I take it back.
Okay, don't go for it.
1 second, let me look at something. No, that's a mystic effect. I was gonna say this. all attached cards. But I guess Quantum Flux does exist. But, like, what does this do? I mean, it saves you... it's a cycle of your deck without taking horror. It's also a draw 3.
What if the attached cards don't even matter?
Yeah.
And it's like, if there are 3 or more cards attached to this card, you can discard Theater Superstitions to cancel some effect.
Interesting. Okay, kind of like a ward of protection?
A little bit. But maybe it doesn't have to be like an encounter draw or something. It can be...
Interesting, interesting.
Because the idea with small hand was that the cards in your hand don't matter as much, so...
Yep. Okay, I have an idea.
Token redraws?
Yeah. We have precedent for that in Seeker. Cancel that token.
During a Mythos test?
During a mytho... Oh, sorry, I just meant the test. I don't know why I got there. It just came in. After revealing token during a test, discard a card, cancel that token, and... token.
This could go back down to being a level 0 card then.
The only thing for level 0 is we don't really have space for it. Like, we do, but we're already chomping at the bit there.
Well, it could be like a level 1 then, and maybe give it 4 secrets instead.
Yeah. It also could be the we could go back to the 1 in your discard pile, but I think this is I think you're right though. Treating the hand size as it's still a resource, right? Like the hand size, the card is the resource.
Yeah.
During a test, discard a card attached to the... I mean, alternatively, we could make like Jester's Skull 2 cost and like experience and make Theater Superstitions level 0.
Hold on. Let
Yeah.
me workshop this real quick. I may have to reword this. I'll just type it out for you.
Sure.
If it's worded like this, it might work with the cards that discard themselves, like or that you want to discard, like the one we just made back to the drawing board.
You belong up here. have to draw a copy of a card already in your discard pile. Discard that card. And add one secret theater superstitions. Okay, yeah.
I think
And
it's
I just had a
functionally
thought.
the same.
And I also think...
It can probably also come with one secret if it's an XP card.
Yes. I also, what about we make it for an investigator? It could be an investigator at your location.
Yeah, we've got the space on the card for investigate your location.
Yeah. And we probably also, realistically, if this is going to replenish, we probably want it to have some starting one.
True.
Max once per test? I don't think so, because you have to spend the resources, right? Yeah, you're spending something to do it. I mean, I guess there's the issue where there's so many ways to get secrets on stuff in Seeker, but that's not our problem. That's when Until Enraptured rotates out problem, but
I mean, if you want to gate it a little further, you can say after you reveal a non-tentacle token.
Yeah.
Just so you're not canceling the auto fail with this.
What's it, this one? 10?
Yep.
Location reveals a non-auto token to spend when Secret cancel that token, turn the bag, and reveal a new one. Yeah, that's a good way to gate it for sure. Because the cost is like, they have it for analysis, but the cost is lower on that. The cost is higher. You have to put a clue down.
Yeah.
Card.
I think we can give this a will icon at the very least. Not sure. We also want to give it a book icon.
Yeah, I think so. For experience. I have a thought. What if it came in with 2 secrets and the add a secret? I like the add to 0, but like, what about the alternative? It's 2 secrets, but the discard is a replenish.
That can also help cap it. So you're unlikely to have more than 2 uses at a time.
And replenish 1 secret. On theater superstitions.
And we've only used theater superstitions once in the text box, so
let's go.
We can keep that name.
If you draw a copy of a card already in your discard pile, discard that card and replenish 1 secret on theater superstitions as a reaction after investigate location reveals. I guess now that it's gated, this could just be. I mean, but again, there's the enraptured problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of secrets interplay that it's fine to keep as non-tentacle.
Yeah.
Also, just in case there's a weird edge case of having 2 copies of the same weakness, how about saying if you draw a non-weakness card?
Sure. Yeah.
It's already taken 3 lines anyway.
Yeah. We're already over for theater, yeah. Drop you have a non-weakness card already in your discard pile, discard that card and replenish 1 secret on theater superstitions. Occasion reveals. What's the cost?
2, I guess. 2 is like the secret.
2 is the secret number, right?
Yeah, just like Amanda, all 2s.
I mean, like, if you... Alright, maybe we come back to this one, and maybe we don't do the replenish, because this is already replenishing itself, but it can still have a nice positive effect that you would want to get rid of it.
Could just give you an immediate action.
Yeah. Turn. So what is it? You gain an immediate action?
Take an immediate action as if it were your turn.
You take an immediate... what if we make it Seeker? You take an immediate move or investigate action.
That's fine.
You may take. What if it do we have to say as if it was your turn, because this also says during your turn?
Oh, that's true, because that's only if you discard during your turn.
Yeah, I've discarded back to the drawing board during your turn. Because I think the replenish one is still fine, because this one card could replenish 2 charges on the Theater Superstitions.
Yeah.
So then if you discard it back to during your turn, you may take an immediate move or investigate action.
I like it.
Okay, I'm going to go a slight step further. I'm going to go move, play. Play's not bolded, though, right?
I think technically if you're just listing out the actions, they're not
don't need to be
bolded either.
Are they capitalized in this game, or no when it's like this?
Not when they're listed out.
Okay. Move, play, or investigate action. The reason for this is because these are the 3 that are on the stage manager. And I like the kind of like the through line through that, so. It's gonna be a move, play, or investigate action. Okay. Okay, so for reference, after today, we'll have, on the Seeker XP side, we have the last 2 asset spots filled, all 3 event spots filled, and then we only would have the skill left for 1 to 5 for Seeker.
We filled that out real fast.
We really did. On the level 0 side, we have our 2 assets filled. We have 3 events filled, and our skill filled right now with 2 unfilled spots, just with all these cards without any not making the cut. But I think the reality is, I think most of these cards will make the cut.
Yeah, since we've got a consistent theme and through line.
I think what we'll probably want to do is make our last... Maybe we're capping out our Seeker cards at level 3 so far, which is not a problem, mind you.
So we'll want a high level Seeker skill.
Yeah, maybe we can find something that kind of works with Eye of Truth.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to make a level 5 skill.
'Tis.
All right. Do you want to call it here? Pretty late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one thought, but I'm not sure if it'll work for a skill.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just sit on that for now.
Skill should be easy on the new archetype. Yeah, it probably should be. I mean, it could be fun to have like a big payoff for that, like a level 5 for the low hand size skills. Could be fun. But you run out of cards pretty quickly.
Yeah. My only thought was something to do with method acting.
Okay.
But that can also be a rogue card, depending.
Yep. For sure. I like this low hand archetype. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think this writer's block was actually a really cool place to go with it, and the Perfectionist I think is a really good payoff to it as well at level 0.
Playing Perfectionist and then the cards that increase your max hand size.
Yeah, so you're just like, I mean, that does seem like a pretty fun combo too, right?
True,
and,
because it still benefits from having a large hand size.
Yep. And then, like, Jester Skull is also a really cool payoff to it as well. And then also, as people said, there's the Empirical Hypothesis that has the Pessimistic Outlook, which would also be good to have on this.
True. To answer your question, Voltglass, if it's a bold investigate on the card, then it's just an investigate action through that card. It's not taking investigate action.
Yeah, would it be more clear if it was like the other ones where it actually says investigate up here?
Well, you want to do it after the other effects.
Yeah.
So I think that then investigate is fine.
Cool. There's a weird ruling on obscure. Yeah. Well, so like the thing is, we can look at what's that one card? Get over here.
There's also like burning the midnight oil as an example event that investigates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, when this actually, yeah. Yeah, that's the intention. Yeah, just a basic investigate. Well, it's not basic investigate, it's this investigate. Yeah, burning the midnight oil is a good precedent for that. No, you're 100% right. That's the one to point to. I guess what we could do is this. We could do like this. We could do to not make this any sort of confusion. It's gonna get very bold for a second. We can use this. Action begins. We could go like that. I think that's cleaner.
I think it did technically save some space as well.
Nice. All right, I'll just do that over here. Sorry. This. Yeah, now there's no confusion. Yeah. What a neat card. All right, Beard, I think we did pretty good today.
It's a good day's work.
Yeah. I imagine before the next time we do this, chat, there will be a bunch of cards. We're working on it a lot on the back end to try to get things all figured out here. So look forward to the next one. In the meantime, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and as always, GG's.